So what is load rate? Is it easy to get say a 10,000 tons vessel? What is the smallest vessels? How do they find these agents? Where do they find these agents to book vessels? All the viewers of PWIP, I want to share today something very interesting, which is about a bulk shipment which we did recently, which was end-to-end handled by PWIP's team. There was a dream when I got into this rice and exports as a business. I used to always think if I do like 5 containers a month, like I would be a rich guy or a millionaire kind. Right? That is what my mindset was. And then gradually I was starting to think, what if we do 10 containers a month? And what if we do 15 or 20 containers a month? I mean, it would be so amazing, right? But when we got into 5 containers a month, 10 containers a month, it was like it was not enough. And every time you did this, you felt that you wanted more of it, right? And then I used to one day think, what about those guys who do a full vessel of rice shipment to various countries? I mean, the scale of that business, the funds involved in that business, how to contact a vessel owner, who is a vessel owner, how does the vessel come into a port, and the whole vessel might be costing around crores of money that you have to deploy to get that shipment going, and who is going to give you that kind of an order, right? Crores of money involved. And then do you really have a capability to source that kind of a volume? 10,000 tons, 20,000 tons, some vessels are 40,000 tons. Well, I'm very glad, my friends, that this dream came true, right? We started our export journey as such in 2016, here in 2023, right? So it's about 7 years later, I was able to see that this day has come, and it could have never ever happened with the right team in place. So today, as I sound serious about my goals, dreams, etc., but I want to share some fun aspects of what happened in this shipment of bulk that we did recently. And I have a team with me here on the panel who's going to share their experience on what happened, how it happened. Right from that end, I want to introduce all of you to Joshua, who was there at the shipment, followed by Karthik, Ajit, Yugesh, Abhishek and Anil, right? So since it was the first shipment and I wanted to see the ship myself, I was also there at the a place where this whole operations was run. But let me start from the start, right? How did we even actually get this kind of an order, right? So point number 1, it is very important. If you have not even shipped a single grain outside the country, nobody is going to give you a 10,000 tons of orders, right? It is always that you grow gradually, you do 5 containers a month, you do 100 containers a month, you do 200 containers a month, and suddenly somebody comes and says you, can you do a vessel? That's how it happens. Otherwise, I still remember that, to make a costing itself, I mean, how do you even give a pricing to a buyer of a bulk shipment, right? Because containers not involved, which means terminal handling charges not involved, BL charges probably, I don't know, involved, not involved. There's a lot of unknowns. Still there is bags to be purchased, cargo to be routed. A lot of people move cargo to port for a bulk vessel in trains, right? So you have to block a whole train for yourself, a cargo train, and then every compartment of the train has to go with rice, which means your truck has to get aligned, with each compartment. The truck has to empty the bags and go back to the mill, get more rice again, because you have the train waiting there, etc., etc. It's a hell lot of operations, which means at every point in time you need money to be paid. You need money to pay to the trucks, you need money to pay to the team, you need money to pay to the vessel, you need money to pay to the boats which go to the vessel, and a lot of things, right? So there is money involved. At the same time, your vessel might have come. Is your cargo ready? If the vessel has come but your cargo is not ready, you are again run into a problem, right? Because your decision on vessel happens at least say some 20-30 days ahead, right? So 30 days before you would have confirmed a vessel, and the vessel owner or the vessel agent would have told you that this particular day I'm going to come into the port. Which port in India? All of this is what we are going to talk about, right? In India, my friends, Kakinada on the east coast of India, right, is the port where majority of bulk shipment happens. All vessels majorly come to Kakinada port. There are vessels also being done out of say Chennai, Vizag, Haldia, Kolkata, Mundra, Mumbai as well. Mangalore as well is a port where bulk vessels come, but Kakinada is one of the most famous one. So if you have to go to Kakinada, you have to fly to Rajamundry, or by road, if you are going by flight, you have to fly to Rajamundry. From Rajamundry airport, there is a 1.5 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes drive to reach Kakinada. So very interesting town or village which is Kakinada. I'm going to dive right into the team right now. So I'll start with Karthik. So Karthik, when I was there in Kakinada, I saw that you were leading the show, right from the barges. So barges, in this case, let's replace the word barges with boat here
boat,
for easy
small
understanding.
boat you can consider.
Small boats, yeah. So these boats which were carrying the rice, right? Why is the boat carrying the rice to a ship? Why is the ship not coming to the port?
See, there are two types of there is anchoring and one is depot. So our bulk shipment was anchoring, not depot. If depot has happened, the vessel will come near the port area where we can stuff easily by a road, by a truck or everything.
Okay.
But our vessel was anchored in the middle of the sea. So for that, most of in Kakinada, they will all do rice under deep anchoring port only. They not bring the vessel to the depot. Depot will happen for coils and oil and all. They will do the deporting. Only for the rice, most of the things they will happen in the anchoring port only.
Okay.
For that reason, they are given.
So what I understand from Karthik is deep port means the vessel is inside the port, berthed inside the port. Anchored means it is anchored outside. If it is anchored outside, that means you have to take the rice to the ship through a boat. Right? Cool. So this is a very good learning. So let me get to you, Abhishek. So when you book a vessel, right, it is not as simple as containers. Like in containers, I still know that if you call a container, then you have say some 14 days of detention or days, meaning free days, where you have to quickly stuff the container and give it back, right? If you don't, then the demurrage kind of starts, right? But in vessel, right, what are the might be a 4 or 5 quick main things, first questions to be asked either to the vessel guy or the buyer at the destination to finalize a vessel? What are quick 5 most important questions?
So main thing in container we pay ocean freight for per container, right? Like here ocean freight is decided per ton for whole vessel or total number of volume. So vessel freight is calculated on the total distance the vessel travels and what time the vessel stands in the port for loading and discharge. So usually load rate, discharge rate.
So what is load rate?
Load rate meaning at the loading port how much we load per day, per working day, per weather working day. How much we load is the how much volume we can.
That is important for the vessel guy, vessel owner. Why is it important for him?
Those many days, say if it is 1000 tons, if I say 100 days per 100 tons per day, the vessel has to stay 10 days in the port. So,
So they need to know how many days I need to stay there, right, for the loading to happen. Okay.
so loading same way at the discharge, how much discharge per day we do. And there are a few other conditions, meaning while booking the number of cranes in the vessel, a few other points is what we look. Basically, main thing is load rate and discharge rate.
Which means, can somebody increase the load rate and discharge rate by having more cranes in the vessel?
Yes, meaning the number of cranes are fixed in the.
But do different vessels have a different number of cranes?
Yes, depending on the how big vessel is.
Okay, so which means when you are choosing a vessel, when do you say that, okay, I'll take this vessel?
So basically, now it all depends upon the volume again. So we have done 10,000 tons. We go and search for 10,000 tons. So sometimes the vessel of 12,000 dead weight or 8,000 dead weight or dead weight is the total number of cargo which vessel can hold. The total quantity rice, just the cargo. So the dependent on the dead weight of the vessel, which cargo's dead weight, which it can hold, then again vessel owners will come and ask that, can you increase the parcel, can you decrease the quantity of parcel. According to that, that is the main thing, meaning the vessel here, containers are abundantly available at the port and we pick the containers, right? So here vessels, there are vessels on the waters. According to us, whatever the destination we give, based on that, vessel agents will place the requirement.
Is it easy to get, say, a 10,000 tons vessel? What is the smallest vessel, do you think?
Smallest vessel could be 6,000 to 8,000 vessel.
6,000 to 8,000 tons. And what could be the biggest vessel?
Biggest of the biggest vessel could be 50,000 tons.
50,000 tons of rice. If it is 50,000 tons of rice and we load 1,000 tons a day, which means we need 50 days for the vessel to stand there just for loading?
But the discharge rate, at that point, there will be number of cranes, will be more, right? So in 50,000 tons cranes, easily 6 to 8 cranes will be there. And those will be 360-degree rotating cranes. There are two different things called crane and derrick. Derrick at a point, at one edge it will be fixed, and the movement of the derrick will be restricted to 180 degrees. And in presence of derricks, the placement of barges also will be mattering. So if one side barges is there,
What is a barge? I mean,
boat, where we get rice from shore, right? So if it is on the other side, or it is over 180-degree rotation of derrick, again barges has to be moved, all these operations will go on, right? So here cranes will be there, and turnaround time of crane will be very high, and workability of the crane will be very high.
Okay, let me come back to the 6,000 tons, which means if anybody, any exporter wants to become a bulk exporter, he has to have 6,000 tons of volume. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I mean, basically now when we talk about a big vessel, 50,000 tons, at that point you can send parcel of 1,000 tons also. If if you get the space. Meaning the whole 50,000 tons cannot be, meaning if exporter is not shipping out 50,000 tons, there can be multiple shippers to multiple buyers, where say Cotonou, Benin, West African countries, continuous movement of rice is there, right? So vessel will be chartered from Kakinada, where lot of shippers will come together, and shippers won't come together talking by themselves. They'll be different agents, cargo agents.
So how do you find, so people who want to become a bulk exporter, how do they find these agents? Where do they find these agents who book vessels, who say that, okay, I have space for 1,000 tons, do you want to, and this vessel is going to Cotonou, for example?
There are reputed companies like PJS, Seaways, all these are usually chartering companies, and they also act as a cargo agents. The vessel agents are different and cargo agents are different. So vessel agents looks for vessel, and this cargo agents also just gives the cargo.
Okay. And why did the vessel agent or company offer the vessel to us? Meaning, was it like very easy? You said, okay, we want the vessel, and you, okay, take it?
It was very difficult because this was our first charter, right? So when we are chartering, big money is involved. We have paid somewhere around 3.5 crores just for just as a ocean freight. Even vessel owners will check the background of charter, of past fixture, or whether he can really do the shipment or not. All these things even they will check, and it's all
credibility check.
yes, credibility check. So vessel agents will watch for charterer that they can do it. So that's how.
Okay, and then you have to pay up, might be an advance or a deposit. Okay. Yugesh, so you have been handling containers, right? So calling of empty containers, inspection of the containers, getting the containers stuffed, getting the containers depart, etc., etc. Now this is a whole vessel, right, with no containers. So what was your main observations in the start that you saw?
So the thing in the back bulk shipment which we have observed here, so rice is directly getting loaded in the boat and it is just moving to the vessel and getting destuffed there. So in the containers, the operations like we have to bring the container from the ad to the CFS. From CFS to again we have to stuff the container and we have to move the port. A lot of the operations are there involved in the time bounded time. We have to hand over the containers to the port. So in the bulk, we have the stipulated time where we can destuff our cargo loaded, and during the laycan period we have to complete our all operations.
What is this word laycan? Can you tell what does it mean? Laycan means?
So laycan, from the start to whenever the unloading is happening in the vessel, so the day we call it as a laycan. So there will be some certain days like 4 to 5 days or 6 days. During these 6 days, all the stuffing has to be completed in the vessel.
Okay, so the day when the vessel comes in and from the till the day you finish the cargo is called the laycan days, right? So if somebody asks, okay, when is the vessel laycan, that it means that when is the vessel coming in? Correct? Okay, okay.
Number of days in the port is called a lay days.
Lay days.
And we have to upfront we have to give the time. Suppose we are asking 5 days, so like based on Abhishek told that the rate how they are fixing the ocean freight example. So we are loading rate plus how much rate it will take to time to load in the vessel, like 1,000 tons per day per crane or 2,000 tons per day you're loading in a vessel. So they will tell laycan. So the vessel if is coming on 10th. So within 10 days I'll be completing. So the date will be like 10 to 20. From 11th to 20 there's a laycan time. If the date is go above than that, then the detention damage charges will be applicable.
Basically, laycan is like when we speak to vessel agent, we'll ask what is the laycan of the vessel. They say 12th to now again second vessel which we have booked. The laycan is 15th to 20th. So between 15th to 20th, the vessel should arrive and get anchored at.
Correct. And we know that many number of days are there for us.
That's laycan. After that, based on load rate and discharge rate, late days will be.
Late time it called as stubborns.
Yeah. So you are talking about containers, CFS to port, etc. So in terms of vessel, then what did you? What was the challenges you overcome, or what was the things that you noticed?
So challenges here on time we have to stuff the boats and from the shore and from the shore all the boats has to move in the on time because if the boat is getting de-stuffed there in the vessel in anchorage, so there should be a next boat immediately it should be ready for de-stuff.
So this boat, it is going near the vessel, right? So assume that the vessel is pointing towards north like this and south. So where now the boat reaches to the vessel, so where does the loading happen? Is it standing this side on the
sides?
On the side. Right?
Sides.
So side means it is going to
Next
touch
to
the vessel.
Yeah, it will dock to the vessel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then.
So both sides the boat will stand.
Okay.
There will be hatches in the vessel.
What is meaning of hatch?
Hatch. There is a compartment.
Like
So
space
yeah,
to
a space.
To like a storage space inside the vessel. Okay.
Generally call it as hatch.
Okay.
And in terminology we can call it as compartments also.
Okay.
So where we can stack our cargo in it.
Okay.
So both sides of the ship, these boats will stand by there, and the crane can carry from the each boat.
So there are cranes. They will carry the boat or the rice. Rice. Okay. How do they carry and how much?
There is a sling.
Sling, okay.
Sling. In the each sling, it has a 6 metric tons of cargo that can lift.
Okay.
So there are the 10 metric tons
So
of.
individual bags are not picked. It is
It's
one.
yeah, one
To
sling.
ease the operation at the shore only. At the shore only, the bags will be loaded into the slings.
Okay, you mean to say in the boat there are slings laid on the floor.
Yes, and over
then
that
the rice is loaded, stacked onto the sling.
Yes.
Okay, and then the boat reaches to the ship, and directly that sling
Sling
is
will
then
be carried,
pulled,
hold it on it.
drop into the hatch.
Yeah.
So so multiple cranes work at the same time, or only one crane at a time?
No, just based on multiple cranes.
At the same time.
Same times.
Then how many boats can come and just stand next to the
So
sling?
each has the 2 cranes. So each 2 cranes can work simultaneously, and it can dump into the hatches of the cargo, lift the cargo.
Okay.
So operationally wise, the both cranes can work easily.
But as
Same
we
time.
spoke about derrick and crane, right? So in case of derrick, if the barges, is a barge is standing on left, 2 derricks can't take the lift from left side. If there are 2 derricks at a hold, it should be opposite side operation should be carried out.
Either one crane is just moving one side and lifting,
And
there's another
one
crane from the
yes.
other side.
Yes.
If it's in the cranes, it can rotate anyways, 360 degrees. Derrick is 180 degree. Yes.
So we would always want to prefer
Crane.
cranes, which is
360 degrees.
360 means it's coming back
Yeah,
as well.
back also rotation, yeah.
Okay, okay. In the boat, I mean the barge where the rice is stocked, right? So was it a high-speed engine in that barge, Abhijit, or how was it?
So actually barges has no engine actually.
Barges had no engine. Then how is it going near the ship?
So there is a towing boat which is actually towed. So towing of boat itself to the vessel it takes 3 hours actually.
3 hours to reach the
To vessel.
vessel. That means vessel might be very, very far.
No. Meaning boat's speed will be normally like per hour 10 knots or 15 knots might be. So it's move very slowly. So it takes 3 hours normally.
So in that boat which has the rice, will anybody be there in the boat?
Yeah.
So actually they'll for traveling they'll be sit and they'll be in sometimes they'll cook in barges only they'll shape.
They'll cook.
They'll cook and they'll eat for food. They'll purpose because to one barge to get unload and load it takes 2 days or 1.5 day easily it takes. So that's why they'll.
So when this boat, it will take 3 hours to reach the ship. So and 3 hours, what do they do in the boat then? They cook and they eat. These are who? The
They're
labours?
labours, yeah, labours. Because these labours, they will attach to the slings and they have to carry, so damage, if any fell down, these labours will be handling the barge, the boat, and they'll take not even 3 hours, sometimes the bigger boats. The one boat, small boat consists of 300 tons or 350 tons, some bigger barges, you consider the boat, it will take 800 tons or 900 tons. A small boat is considered of 900 tons also. So this needs a labor also for them. So easily it will take 4 hours also sometimes, because bigger boats, the 2 boats will be towing that.
4 hours means I think then 1 hour, half an hour, 1 hour for cooking. Half an hour for.
No, they have the
eating.
labor teams for cooking. Sometimes driver they have 2 people to drive.
Yeah,
also.
so 1 hour for cooking, half an hour for eating, 1.5 hour. So 2 hours. Then another 2 hours, what do they do?
They'll play cards.
They play cards,
Cards, yeah. Normally they play cards. Yeah.
Yes.
Then sometimes they'll fishing also.
So, Josh, so you have been seeing sourcing, you have been seeing container movements. So, what was your first experience as you saw the bulk operations?
So the first thing is that entering into the CFS of Kakinada, so I was not able to enter only because you see there were a lot of trucks standing, and then I was wondering like there's so many trucks with rice, because normally when we go to a rice mill in container stuffing, max to max you see 2 or 3 containers, that's it. But here when you enter, there are lorries like standing entirely, like I would say around 30 to 40 lorries standing, and they are waiting there. Then I was wondering what is happening inside. So, and then we have to go to the check post, and then they see our card. It's not everyone can enter into.
It's a customs area.
It's a customs area. Restricted area.
Okay.
So, and then they saw, and then the passes that we had
Which means you had to apply for the pass earlier.
earlier. Yeah. And then it's not easy. Everyone would get the passes unless and until that you are involved in this.
Shipment.
Yeah, shipment. So we went as a quality inspection to make sure that everything is going good. So, and then they approved our pass, and then we went inside the car. And I was wondering that there are so many lorries standing for what shipment is actually happening, because I have no idea. I have no experience in bulk shipment. And then I see it's actually getting unloaded for our bulk shipment, and I felt so happy. They were like, oh my god, this is something that great we are doing. And then I see there are like 6 to 7 people in one lorry, and then the speed of work, the what we call barges, the boat, it has zone 1 and zone 2. And then in both the sides simultaneously there are 4 trucks come and stand, and then immediately they unload one truck within 35 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
And then
Each truck could be how many tons?
around 30 tons.
30 tons. Okay.
30 to 35 tons is an average. And then the capacity of the barge is somewhere around 400 on each zone. Like let's keep the 800 tons. It's normally there are also 300 tons and then 400 tons. It depends depending upon how fast. So that I was so something new that I saw. And then these people, they work, and then immediately once the unload is done, these guys go sit down there and then have some drink, juice. And then later, immediately, what happens once the barges is done, they all get into the barge, like Azit said. So at that point of time, the relaxing time is the time of the traveling.
Okay.
So
they work hard for 30-40 minutes to load the barge, the boat.
it's just 30-40 minutes for one truck. There are like 60-70.
One truck and
yeah.
one, so 30 tons for example.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's 300 tons, then it takes 10 trucks of rice to get in. Okay. Okay.
After the work is done, around by 4 o'clock, 4:30 is when one barges leaves, and then all these guys get onto that because they have to go there near the vessel.
The same team then goes there to load it to
Not
the
the
vessel.
same team. Barge team is separate.
The barge team is
Yes, shore team is separate.
separate. Okay. The shore teams, they will load like 24 bars, 7 also they will be loading. Day and night also the keep on loading will happen into the barges.
Okay.
And main thing that like trucks will be keep on coming, stay standby mode, like not 20 minutes. Sometimes one truck is around like 25 tons, they will unload very fast, like 20 minutes or 30 minutes also.
Right.
Their break time is what hardly for 10 to 15 minutes they will take a break.
Right.
Again they will be coming and unloading.
Hi, so let's end this conversation right here, and I'm taking a very quick break, and we are coming up with the part 2 of this conversations very soon.